Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jarrod.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we're still doing a Once More With Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we are doing Season 4, Episode 12, A New Man. This episode originally aired January 25th, 2000. Written by Jane Epperson and directed by Michael Greshman. Eddie.
This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jarrod has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
Yep. I always have this little standoff whenever you say that. You look over me like, is it wasting his time? Worth my time. Not wasting my time, worth my time. Yeah, I don't know. This episode it's okay. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, it's good. It was good. I'll say it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really love this episode. It's a good little season 4 episode. You've got the return of Ethan Rayne, and you know how much I love Ethan Rayne.
Yeah, no, he's always worth his time.
You know, he's my favourite Loki-esque bad guy who comes along and causes a bunch of chaos.
Yeah, the chaos guy.
And normally a bunch of comedy ensues whenever he's around.
We get to see, get to learn a little bit more about Giles whenever he's in town. Like we get to reveal a bit more of his past and his old ways, and he tends to loosen up a bit more around him as well. Yeah, I've noticed.
I like his little introduction where he's pontificating and then gets caught mid-sentence.
There's someone there
thinking that he's alone. I do like that. I guess this episode really is Giles having a midlife crisis.
Yeah, it's a metaphor for midlife crisis, isn't it? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Did you want to go into the summary?
Yep, I'll do the summary. Buffy and Riley are making out on her bed, but before it gets too serious, Willow barges into the room to tell them that a demon has attacked the rec room. Armed with weapons, they go to the rec room, only for Buffy to discover that it was a surprise birthday party for her 19th. At the party, Giles feels out of place, especially when Buffy introduces Riley as her boyfriend and brags about how wonderful Professor Walsh is. Walsh is informed that Buffy is the Slayer. After revealing Riley's 17 captures and kills, she inquires about how many hostiles Buffy has killed. Uncomfortable, Buffy initially keeps quiet to avoid bragging, but from her conversation with Riley afterward, she is forced to admit that she has killed hundreds of vampires and saved the world multiple times, leaving Riley impressed and intimidated. Meanwhile, Giles discovers that a powerful demon is about to rise and calls Buffy, but Willow informs him that she is with Walsh. Giles goes to talk with Walsh about Buffy, unaware that she knows Buffy's identity of her position in the initiative. He has an immediate dislike for her and is offended when she says that Buffy lacks a father figure. Willow and Xander go with Giles to the cemetery to capture the demon. They are very late and fail to find the demon. Instead, they find the area incredibly clean, which Willow suggests is the work of the initiative. She and Xander go on how thorough the operation is, only to discover that Giles never knew about the initiative or that Riley and Walsh are behind it. Again, feeling incredibly out of the loop and unwanted, Giles sends Willow and Xander away, offering to stay in case things happen, but after a few seconds he leaves. Ethan Rayne walks out of the shadows, speaking of interesting things to come, only to be caught when Giles hears him and re-enters the mausoleum. Giles prepares to beat Ethan, sparing him only when Ethan's hastily uttered promise of information. Going out for a drink, Ethan tells Giles that the underworld is being threatened by the initiative, especially by something called 314, a plan that is throwing everything out of balance. Giles and Ethan get very drunk, with Giles opening up about how left out he feels and his annoyance that the initiative has the demons running scared when he has been fighting evil for 20 years. Ethan flirts with the waitress and gives his number to her. When he wakes the next morning, Giles discovers he has been transformed into a horned demon with incredible strength. He breaks the phone trying to make a call, then breaks the door off its hinges as he tries to leave the house. Giles goes to Xander's basement and tries to get him to help, but Xander does not recognize him and cannot understand Giles, who is speaking a demonic language. Xander starts throwing things at him and Giles runs away. The gang finds Giles' place destroyed and are worried about the same demon that went to Xander was responsible for hurting or killing Giles. Walking through the cemetery, Giles runs into Spike, who was searching for a new place to live after moving out of Xander's basement now that he can hurt demons. Spike recognizes Giles and identifies him as a Pharrell demon. Because he speaks the language, Spike agrees to help find Ethan and fix things for $200. Riley shows up at Giles' apartment where everyone is researching the demon. After finding the demon in Giles' book, they determine it can only be killed with a silver object. Spike tries to figure out how to drive Giles' car while telling Giles his experiences with Pharrell demons. Apparently, they are unintelligent, love destroying things, and have the ability to spray paralyzing goo with their noses that hardens like a rock. Upon spotting Walsh, Giles makes Spike stop the car so he can chase her down the street in revenge for their last conversation. Spike gets information about the waitress that Ethan flirted with and finds out where he lives. Breaking into the magic shop, Buffy finds a receipt for the materials purchased by Ethan Rayne. Trying to escape the commando vehicles chasing after them, Demon Giles jumps out of the car while the commandos continue their pursuit on Spike, who crashes the car while trying to escape. Demon Giles charges into Ethan's motel room and attacks him. Buffy and Riley arrive on the scene, and while Riley takes care of Ethan, Buffy fights with Demon Giles. With the letter opener she took from Giles' place, Buffy stabs the demon, but then she looks into his eyes and realizes the demon is Giles. The letter opener turns out not to be made of pure silver, sparing Giles as he is turned back into a human, and Ethan is arrested by Riley. While Giles watches Ethan get taken away, Buffy and Riley talk about their abilities again. Buffy apologizes for not telling Giles about Riley and the initiative and promises to tell him everything in the future, but Giles is worried about her safety and whom she trusts. Walsh is upset that Riley disobeyed orders for Buffy, but he manages to convince her that Buffy will work out. Passing through security doors, Walsh enters a room labelled 314. The end.
Boom, boom, boom.
Alright, Eddie. So, midlife crisis. Is it this episode we're talking about? Or
Yeah. So, I don't know. This is possibly the first time you see Giles looking just almost pathetic. Like, you can really...
At the party, yeah, especially.
Like,
yeah.
he's at the party, still hanging... it is that thing. It's just such an odd occurrence to have him hanging around with these teenagers. Like the fact that Buffy has that party, but no one invites her mum or Maggie or, I don't know. When we have parties, you invite family.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Older like people varying in ages. And it was just weird because he's just this 40, what is he, 40 or 50?
Yeah, 40, mid-40s maybe.
Yeah. In this, and it's just him and a bunch of 19-year-olds, 18, 19-year-olds.
And doesn't Buffy go on about something about not having old people around or something she says?
So he was like, I think she started quoting Maggie Walsh, and Giles says something like, oh, perhaps you should have invited her along, and Buffy's like, oh no, she's like way old.
Yeah.
She's got other things. She's got better things to do. Yeah, and like even Anya didn't really want to talk to him.
And his cake kept disappearing.
Yes, he has this weird,
this weird goof where he had cake and then he didn't have cake, and then, oh, where's your cake? And they went and gave him some cake, and then he still didn't have it.
Yeah.
Just chowing down that cake, I think, wasn't
the magical disappearing piece of cake. The disappearing, reappearing cake, I should say. Yeah. Yeah, that whole party scene's very weird to watch. But also him being unemployed, he sort of doesn't have, much direction in his life anymore. So
yeah.
And you sort of have, Buffy is sort of growing more confident and independent and doesn't really need him around anymore. You sort of also she's almost got a new parental figure showing up in Maggie as well, which you can kind of tell he's very threatened by in this episode. And
it's a bit sad, isn't it? It's very sad. Yeah.
Not sad, just as I said, he's just got no direction, no vision on what he's going to be doing with himself, pretty much. yeah.
Well, how is he paying rent?
I think he must have money.
Okay.
So.
Then again, he was a librarian, so,
I think he's from money, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. We haven't got much backstory on him on his...
Well, you know that he's like the Watchers Council is one of those things that's handed down within a family.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of nepotism going in there, is there?
Yeah.
Possibly why they're so corrupt and useless, maybe.
Yeah, because it is...
Leading to their downfall. That nepotism where they're not getting the best people and everyone's just relatives are just handing down who...
Yeah, so
probably
it's...
a bit incompetent.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's possibly what's going on there.
Hmm.
Is why the Watchers Council is absolutely shit. Is because it is one of those things that it's handed down to the next generation, whether they like it or want it or are good at it.
Yes, more importantly.
Yeah.
So Spike's really poor?
Yeah, it's a bit...
I could pay you money.
Oh, I like money. How much?
$100?
$100. You'll have to do a lot better than that. 200.
Fine.
Right then.
Because it sort of caught me off guard when he's like, "Oh, for you, $100," and he's like, "Really?" Like, what? You got no money? I mean, I didn't really think about it.
Well,
before.
he's never needed money before.
Well, that was the other thing. Does he need money?
Well, he does need money now because he has to buy the pig's blood and his cigarettes and whatnot, and he can't kill people for those things anymore.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So you have to remember he's probably just killed his way.
Well, exactly right. Yeah, it makes perfect sense now that, he would need currency to be able to exchange things that he needs, because before he just would take it and would kill people for it.
Yeah.
Quite easily. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now he can't do that. So
well, he can still steal stuff, though. I mean, it's not... Can he?
Yeah, but he would normally just kill someone and then steal their stuff.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Yeah. So...
Well, he could rob like a shop, couldn't he? He could hold a gun, like, but not fire it, or what?
I think they have done that. He couldn't even hold... They'll do that eventually. He can't even point a gun.
Oh, yep. All right. That answers that then.
Yeah. I think I'll talk about Maggie Walsh.
Okay, yeah.
And she really oversimplifies Buffy's role as the Slayer, like saying she's sort of talking up, we have the most high-tech powered ways. And then she's like, and you poke them with a pointy stick. Just completely misunderstanding that Buffy's the weapon. The stakes are tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this may be alluding what you've been saying with the initiative of where their place it is, and they're meddling with things they don't understand, and it seems like they are having effect with putting things out of balance.
Yes.
So what was sort of mentioned in the episode. So it's almost like Buffy's like that apex predator who will sort of maintain the numbers of certain animals so they don't overpopulate, but they still have to be there, sort of thing. Is that, if you could sort of compare it in that sort of sense, that she's, when there's an overpopulation, she can sort of, I mean, if she killed every single one, would that mean her job is done? I mean, is she meant to do that, kill every single one?
Well, she's one girl.
Well, yeah, okay.
I doubt that would ever be the case, that she would ever be able to kill every single demon.
Well, we saw what happens when there was no Slayer in Sunnydale.
Yes, yeah. So, Maggie, you have those themes of science versus magic, masculine energy versus feminine energy. So you've got the science and the masculine and the magic and the feminine.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And kind of that conversation with Maggie and Giles where she just is like doesn't want to talk to him. She's quite rude and abrupt. Like, she's generally pretty rude and abrupt with most people.
Yeah.
To be fair. But yeah, I think it's sort of that coded thing where she is actually trying to make out that her way of doing things is
the right way.
Is superior to the way that Buffy and Giles work.
And the way she spoke to him as well, she very looked down her nose on him, like, oh, you just, looking in books and stabbing things with sticks,
Yeah.
It's so old hat, and this new technology we've got is going to pave the way.
Yes.
And save us. Her faith in the technology.
Yes. Yes.
Will save them all.
Yes. But yeah, she is in the superior place over Buffy as well. And the fact that they tell, like, after Buffy finds out where, using Buffy's own, the way that she works, she realizes it's Ethan Rayne. She works out where he is. And then Riley's like, oh, I've been told I'm not supposed to bring you along. I don't know. And it is that thing in this episode. Riley is just insufferable in this episode.
I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest.
He's pretty bad. Like, so you have that conversation where, so you have this super awkward conversation with Riley and Giles at the party, where he just pretty much sits there and insults him, like by accident.
Yeah.
Starts going on about, I don't know, him being retired or, anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're retired.
Retired at
At 40. Well, we all love to be retired at 40.
I'd love to be retired at 40. Yeah. So they have that conversation with Maggie and she's just like, oh, Riley's, captured 17 hostiles. And they're like, so do this sort of what's your number? Which has also been a euphemism for when people talk about how many people they've slept with. Like, what's your number? I think there's a movie called What's Your Number?
Or penis size or,
and then...
It is very much a dick measuring contest, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, so Buffy sort of played it down and then obviously she's said a bit more.
She's been around a bit.
Yeah, but she's been sleeping around since she was 15, so of course her number's going to be really high. Or should I say she's been playing, she's been slaying demons since she was 15. And then you have him like being really insecure about it, and then he's like, oh, I thought last week was a big week, but that's just a Tuesday for you.
When you're out there saving the world every week, it's for me it was Tuesday.
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, and then he says the most arrogant thing ever.
Oh, what was that?
And it's I don't even think I could take you.
That's good.
No, you could not fucking take her. Of course you could not fucking take her.
Well, he understands that she has superhuman powers, so that's,
Yeah, but he doesn't even, he still just sees her as this meek little girl.
Well, it's hard to separate that because she is a meek little girl. They could cut him some slack here,
No, but then they go into that sparring match. And
what that remind me of?
What?
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Remember that sparring match they had?
Yeah.
That flirty fighting?
Yeah.
Which actually
Flirt fighting, yeah. But it was that thing where he's like, don't hold back. And the whole time I'm sitting there going, if she doesn't hold back, you would be dead in 30 seconds.
Or 1 second, just one punch to the head. And the lights out.
Yeah. And he got injured and then it was quite obvious that she was holding back quite a lot by the fact that he was not dead. And also I couldn't tell whether she was either doing it just to save his life or to help with these little insecurities that he was feeling about her.
It's adjustment. He's just adjusting.
No, well, the thing is that this isn't something that he gets over.
Oh,
like it
no?
ends up becoming like a reoccurring pattern with him that he actually cannot handle how strong she actually is. And it does end up leading to the downfall of their relationship.
Right.
So it starts this early.
Wow. Well, he's very old-fashioned, isn't he? He's very, when it comes to courting women.
She is the purest. She is the purest soul I have ever known. Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. So I just find him a bit white bread in this, as you would put it.
Fucking white bread.
He's fucking white bread in this episode. Yeah. Particularly bad.
It's fucking white bread. You're boring. Look at you in your stupid outfit.
Is it like he's trying to play Clark Kent, almost? Just sort of popped in my head because
Clark Kent actually had power.
No, but that's he would pretend to be this Weasley guy, like corn-fed guy from Idaho, from the country.
Corn-fed Iowa boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's near Kansas, isn't it?
I don't know.
That Middle America sort of country guy,
I guess.
Very old-fashioned.
He uses the word court, and then he also said she's the purest soul I have ever known. Yeah. Yes. So they bring up the 314, which is a nice little mystery that they've added in, but also kind of insinuating that, the initiative are perhaps
a little more nefarious than what you think.
Yeah, they are perhaps have maybe more sinister intentions than... And the fact that the underworld is actually taking notice.
Yeah.
that something's going on.
Yeah, we finally got that revelation now. So I had no idea anything like that was coming, but yeah, confirmed almost, I'd say.
Yeah. I think one of the best parts of this episode, though, is Spike and Giles.
Oh, the buddy cop thing they had going on.
Yes, the buddy cop thing that they have going on. Giles wakes up with the hangover from hell. I know I've certainly felt like a feral demon from time to time, waking up on those mornings. And they
just
have
destroying the house.
Smashed phone. ripped shirt and a smashed phone.
Yeah. Kind of remind me of Spider-Man, actually, when he was like trying to grab things and everything he grabbed would just crumble in his hand because his strength was...
Yeah. Not knowing your own strength.
I think he did something with the door as well, where he took a door off and it came off, or...
Yeah,
No?
I can't really remember. And again, Spike driving Giles's car. That's the last you'll see of the Citron.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's a classic car, that.
Yeah, it gets smashed in this episode. He gets a little red convertible.
Oh, is this continuing the midlife crisis, is it?
I don't think
a Beamer or something, was it?
Yeah, he gets a BMW. Yeah. Little BMW, little red convertible, little sexy thing, I think he calls it. And it's an automatic.
So Buffy can drive it?
Oh, I don't think Buffy ever drives.
No, I don't think we have seen it.
After the one episode where you saw her driving in Band Candy, you don't ever see her driving again.
Poor her.
Yeah. The double meaning of the name of the episode.
A new man.
Yeah. So because Buffy has a new man.
Yes.
And then the predicament that Giles gets himself in turns him into a new kind of man.
D-man.
A D-man. Yeah. Yes. Tara and Willow doing spells.
Yes.
Subtext,
yes.
Together, plucking petals off a rose.
Oh, no. I didn't
Didn't notice that, did you?
No, yeah. Okay.
And Willow doesn't tell Buffy where she was or who she was with.
Yeah.
So Buffy hasn't been told about Tara yet. So again, they're all keeping, not necessarily keeping secrets. They're just not telling everyone in the group the whole story. So,
or just being lazy. It seemed like Buffy was gonna tell Giles, but just hadn't got around to do it.
She had the opportunity to tell him and didn't.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. She didn't want to tell him.
She didn't want to tell him. I think that was the problem.
She didn't forget.
She didn't forget at all. She just didn't want to. But that also goes into the fact that everyone else knew except for Giles, including Spike.
Spike knew.
Spike knew, Anya knew, like absolutely everyone knew. Even Maggie Walsh knew. like the fact that everyone else knew except for him.
Yeah.
Just would have made him. I think that's what ended up making him so vulnerable to Ethan's trickery.
Yeah, let his guard down a little bit.
That he let his guard down, that he was just like, and he's like, oh, I've got information. Like he was feeling so useless.
Yeah, he sort of, I'll take this opportunity and see what he's got, but just got himself tricked again. So how did he turn into a demon?
I'm guessing.
Or was it his drink? Like, you can do that?
Yeah. He could have just popped something into the drink and then done a spell later to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what Willow said, was that some powerful magic had taken place. That's how Buffy knew to go to the magic shop.
Is that because of the spell that they were doing was affected by it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so there was some sort of powerful magic that had turned Giles into a Feraldo man. So.
Go D's.
Talking of demons. Had you seen this episode?
I think I have. The Giles being a demon thing was very familiar. I definitely had seen that. And the scene where he ran down the street and chased Walsh and got back in the car and like, all right, let's go. So I definitely had seen that before. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was somewhat familiar, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. In the background or something.
Yeah. Though, I think I do remember watching it and you seeing that scene and you kind of went, that's actually funny.
It was more of just a nose sniff, like.
It was more of a yeah. Yeah. And did you go down any rabbit holes?
Oh, you know what? No. I'm sorry. I didn't really have much. Well, I've got one thing. It's not really a rabbit hole, but just this probably deserves its own podcast. And I think we will do this one day. But I got me watching this episode. Got me watching this today.
Mummy!
This is bad news.
Mummy!
It's bad news.
Bad news. The comic strip presents more bad news.
Yes.
Hi, Colin. It's Sally Friedman, remember?
Colin?
Yeah, hi.
No, I'm not Colin. I'm Trevor. I'm Trevor, Colin's twin brother. If you want Colin, he'll probably be round at his pad because he's frightfully groovy. Groovier than me. And
Okay.
Bad news. That's probably not the best clip to play.
Well, mainly because it was mainly a visual at the start, because that's where he stands in the dog poo.
Yeah.
So he stands in dog poo,
Yeah.
takes off his shoe, and puts his sock
And then stands in it again.
puts his sock into it, and then runs inside going, Mummy! Mummy!
Mummy! Yeah. It's hilarious.
Now, why did you...
action then.
No, you have got to look mean.
Oh, that's your favourite one. You've got to look mean.
So the Comic Strip presents, this is the Young Ones. Before they did Young Ones, they did a show called Comic Strip Presents. Well, they did something different every episode. Bad News. Now, it's been debated who came out first, Bad News or Spinal Tap. I think Spinal Tap came out first, but they'd already made this but hadn't released it yet. So, but it's one of those rock mockumentaries, except these guys are just shit.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap at least had some success.
Yeah.
Even
So Spinal Tap were actually successful.
Yeah.
Bad news.
They're just a garage band. And with Rick Rail and Adrian Edmondson, like their chemistry, basically just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I never seen two guys who do it so well.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. He passed away some time ago, Rick Mail, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
which is a shame. But,
Most of our American listeners will probably know Rick Mail probably more for like Drop Dead Fred.
Drop Dead Fred, yeah.
Which was probably his biggest American movie.
Guest House Paradiso as well. I'm not sure if anyone saw that. Yeah, maybe Drop Dead Fred. But he's had countless TV shows and absolute gem in England.
But they're all of
Britain.
those. They're all those English TV shows that have like that. Their season is 6 episodes.
Yeah, but it's quality over quantity though. There's 6 awesome episodes.
Yes,
not 22 half decent ones.
Yeah,
not mentioning any names. So yeah, and there's a scene where they're in a studio doing a bit of recording, and you can see a certain person in the background. If I can just find it, I'm just showing this to you, Eddie.
Is that Giles opening the door?
Yeah, that was Giles. Anthony Stewart Head, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was in Bad News. I never noticed it. I've seen it so many times, but you just see the side of his head. I don't think he even says anything. I can have a couple of speaking roles. But yeah, Bad News, more Bad News. They're on YouTube at the moment. Go watch it. They're there. Just type in Bad News. The comic strip presents more Bad News. Oh, there's Bad News. Sorry. Comic strip presents Bad News, and then the sequel was Comic strip presents more Bad News. And it's a who's who of English comedy. You've got
Dawn French.
Dawn French and what's the other girl? No, she wasn't in it. No.
No. I'm thinking French and Saunders.
Saunders. No, I think Saunders was in it. Maybe was she in it? I know.
So you got Jennifer Saunders and Dawn French. They're both in it.
Yeah. She's in both of them too, playing two different characters. One, she's like a teenage girl or something.
Yes, yeah. She's like a groupie in one of them.
And then the other one, she's like a rock producer or something, like a evil rock producer who's just trying to exploit them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, this is just absolute comedic gold. Go check it out. That's it for me.
All right. Did you want to get into question time then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Answer the question.
All right, Jarrod. Which character was your favourite in this episode?
Pharrell Giles. Giles Pharrell.
Giles Pharrell.
Sounds like a rock star, doesn't it?
Does actually.
Giles Pharrell.
Yeah, I went with Giles. Which character do you love to hate in this episode?
Walsh.
Yeah, I went with Walsh. She's a little extra bitchy. LOL moment.
So it's got to be the Giles overhearing Ethan pontificating about this evil plan he's going to have. Could have waited just a couple more seconds before you started screaming out, "I'm going to get you."
Yep.
What did you say?
Yeah. Mine was Giles trying to get, like, he goes to Xander, trying to wake up Xander.
Yeah.
Xander, wake up. Mom. No, it's not, Mom. No.
And he's, because we can hear him, he's speaking normally. And then he's standing over Xander going, and Xander.
That's a face you want to wake up to, is it?
But it's him like going, Xander, wake up, Xander. Yeah. And of course, having a go at him for sleeping in past 10 o'clock. I think it's 10:30 and he's still in bed.
It was very well done, that scene. Yeah.
what was your favourite fight scene?
That was actually my favourite fight scene, was Xander and Giles. And Xander just throwing pots and pans at him. And he just runs off.
Yeah, I'll go with the hotel room fight scene. Where,
yes, yeah. At the end, yeah.
Where he's trying to get Ethan. Buffy stabs him. Okay. Favorite scene.
I really did like the scene of Giles and Ethan drinking at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was just a really nice scene to see him out of his normal comfort zone. You get to see more of the real Giles, I think, as well. Yeah. It's funny how you have your arch nemesis, but everything's okay once you have a few drinks together, isn't it?
Yeah, but remember that they used to be friends. I think they used to also be lovers, but
really? Oh.
Well.
Is that just hinted? Or is that confirmed?
No, because it was what he used to talk about, I think Willow brings up all of the, what they had to do to get that Igor demon thing. Yeah, anyway. Was that they used to take part in orgies and baklavas and I can't remember what it was. But there was only one female in the group.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
That's where the nickname Ripper came from.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Ripped his arsehole.
Yes. I don't know. I like to think that perhaps it wasn't, maybe they were once lovers. And that's why he had it out for him a little bit.
Maybe orgy lovers, only in orgies.
Yeah. Well, but it is canon that they were once friends. But it is that thing where Giles is talking and he's just like, "Who's Maggie Walsh? What are you talking about?" My favourite scene is probably I refuse to become a monster because I look like a monster. I have a soul. I have a conscience. I'm a human being. Oh, stop the car. Jumps out and chases Maggie Walsh down the street.
Right, let's go then.
All right, let's go.
Yes. Yeah.
Just need to get that out. When in Rome, huh?
Yeah. And what was your least favourite scene?
So the Buffy and Riley fighting was a little
the flirt fighting.
Yeah, the flirt fighting.
Yeah.
Also the party scene, I think, maybe.
Yeah. I'm going with the party scene. The awkward party scene. Oh, come on, just invite a few older people. Invite her mum or something. Anyway. Favourite quote?
So a scene with Professor Walsh and Buffy. And Professor Walsh says, "So, you're the Slayer." Buffy, "Yeah, that's me." Walsh, "We thought you were a myth." And Summers retort, "Well, you were myth taken."
You were myth taken. Yep, that's my favourite quote as well.
Oh, really? Myth taken.
I will often say this in real life. This just lives rent free in my head, and I sit there going, "You were myth taken."
We thought you were a myth.
Well, you were myth taken.
And whenever someone brings up myths, I start going, "Well, I think you're myth taken."
I think I have heard you say that before, and I had no idea what the hell you're on about.
Yes. Now, who gets the wooden spoon?
I gave the wooden spoon to Willow for cock blocking Riley.
I don't know. It was a bad idea, that entire birthday party. You just don't throw a surprise party for the Slayer and it looked like they were just about to start getting naked.
Mm-hmm. He played it pretty cool. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go get this demon." Like I would have been like,
five minutes.
Can you guys just wait? Just give us 10 minutes, all right? We'll be right there, okay?
Like 5 minutes, probably 5 minutes later than that, and there would probably be no, that probably wouldn't have much clothing on. Yeah, bad idea. Surprise!
Don't you do the tie and the necktie on the door or something like
Yeah,
that? There's some sort of code they would have had maybe that Buffy should have put.
But Buffy probably told Willow that she was there with Riley.
Okay.
That Riley was over.
That's even worse. So she did it anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Giles for this one.
Ooh.
For the wooden spoon.
Oh.
Because there is one issue that I do have with this episode.
What's that?
It's the fact that once he finds Spike who can actually understand what he's saying, that he doesn't go straight to Buffy. Like he makes the choice to try to fix it without getting Buffy involved.
It happens a lot, doesn't it, when someone tries to do something without involving the Slayer, and it probably should have been their first option.
Yeah.
First and only option.
Not only
made
option.
things worse.
Yeah.
I suppose he didn't really get much of an opportunity. Like, as soon as he went to Xander's and then realised he couldn't speak, they wouldn't recognise him. Then he met Spike.
Well, by this stage, he hadn't actually spoken to Buffy for quite some time. So probably not since the party. He hadn't actually been able to get in contact with her.
No, you're right. No, he should have plenty of opportunities.
Yeah. But yeah, he
could have got Spike to call her.
Yes. Or yeah, just track down Buffy, let her know what had happened, not realising that by that stage she was already onto the fact that something had happened to him. And he was trying to hide it from her. That was the other thing.
Like she was with him.
Yeah.
Secrets would get you
As
nowhere.
I said, it was the fact that they keep trying to hide these little secrets from each other. So this is going to start causing some issues.
Yeah.
Who's the MVP of the episode?
I gave it to Spike.
Actually, yeah, he is actually.
Yeah, he was pretty helpful. Getting chased by the initiative, and I guess
Yeah, he followed through on.
moved out of Xander's basement.
Yeah, gonna go find himself a nice little.
Oh, actually, something I forgot to mention. Anya, when she was in the basement, is reading a comic book that had Mortal Kombat on the back of it. It just stuck out like dog's balls. Like when I saw that advertisement for Mortal Kombat, it looked pretty cool.
Okay. A close second is Buffy being all intuitive.
Yeah.
And realising it was
every episode. It's a struggle to not give it to her. Got to find a way of not giving it to her every fucking week.
Yeah, but it was also like Spike recognised that it was him as well, pretty quickly. As like Spike realised it was him. Again, Spike is also very, very intuitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buffy realises it's him after she stabs him. Yeah.
So was it the look of disappointment on his face?
Yes, the look of disappointment. And what do you rate this episode out of 10?
I'm guessing we're going to say the same thing. 5 non-silver letter openers. 5.
8. And that's exactly what I had written down.
Non-silver.
That's what I literally have that written here. 8 out of 10 not silver letter openers.
Great minds think alike, Eddie.
Yep.
Someone said that. Someone smart, I hope.
Yep. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's about it for me. I've exhausted all our resources, Eddie, on this episode. I think there's nothing else anyone else could ever say about season 4. I don't know. Episode 12? Is it episode 12?
Season 4, episode 12.
Season 4, episode 12.
A new man.
A new man, yeah.
Yes. All right.
All right, so we are going to wrap this up now, Eddie.
Uh-huh.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed listening to us tonight. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jarrod.
I'm Edwina.
And you can find us on the internet, Edwina.
Yeah, we're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com. And if you want to help out the podcast, follow the link tree on our socials to our merch store.
Yes, buy our merch.
Yeah.
So,
also follow, what is it, like,
share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, shout us a comment, anything at all.
Rate us.
We'll be here 24/7.
On whatever app you're listening to us on, rate us on there.
Rate us on, yes. Give us a
rating.
Subscribe. Do it all. Take care. Bye.
All right, bye. Girl,